All right, this is your first workout. It's gonna be a little lower body focus. I just did my warm up on the treadmill. Again, we're gonna be together, but you can do your warm up beforehand, either on the treadmill, on a stationary bike, kind of whatever you want, just to get the blood flowing. Again, I just did a 1/4 mile on the top incline I could do at 3.7 miles an hour. But you just gotta warm up how you do, 5 to 10 minutes. First thing, I've got your workout here. I know you can't read that, and I'll post it on the Google Drive, so don't worry about that. But the first thing we're going to start with is foam rolling your TFL. TFL is a small muscle, kind of by the hip flexor, right in between, right, there's the quad, there's the hip, and then there's the hip flexor and kind of the groin. It's going to be like a little, almost triangle muscle right there. So we're going to roll that out. We're going to roll that out on both sides. And what we're going to do is we're just going to rest on it and slowly like molasses, just kind of roll over it, just really nice and easy, over and back for about 30 seconds. And when you feel kind of like a, ooh, that's a little bit tender, great, find that spot. Rest on it, breathe out on it. Breathe out on that spot, and then you can shimmy around on it. Relax onto it, okay? So you're gonna do that for 30 seconds. You're gonna switch over to your other leg. Same thing, remember, you're going to the TFL, which is a small triangular muscle, right about here. So here's my waist, my hip bone. This is right about here, okay? So it's by the hip flexor and the groin. So same thing on the other side, nice and slow. Find where you feel something, and then like molasses, slow, slow. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, when you find something, just breathe out. Relax onto it. And just kind of work through it. Just slowly work through it. Let me give you a view like this actually as well. So we're on it like this. I know I just switch my legs again. We're slowly going to work through it like that, okay? If you find a spot, oh, there's a little bit for me. So I'm going to breathe out. Put my weight onto it and just work through it. Fantastic. You can do that 2 times on both legs for 30 seconds each, okay? You don't need to rest. You can just alternate legs. You don't need to rest for that. Next, we're going to do a standing hip flexor stretch. Feet, I want to be pointing in front of you at 12 o'clock, this foot back here. You can see, oh, mine's angled a little bit out. We're going to try to get that to 12 o'clock in front of us. We're going to have our hips underneath our shoulders and our head and neck right over our shoulders, so we're not looking down. We're looking at the horizon in front of us. You can put your back leg a little further back, and then you're going to come forwards at the hips, driving your belly button. Think about driving your belly button forward, and then driving this back hip flexor diagonally into the ground. So drive it into the ground, and then if you want to get a little more of a stretch here, you're going to take the foot that is back, raise that hand up, and hold there, and then you can lunge deeper into it. And I just want to show you from the side, because you don't want your back to have a big curve here, right? We're not looking for that. That's called anterior pelvic tilt. So if I'm here and I'm doing a big curve, that's stretching this, but it's also putting some tension on the back. So what we want to do is get to a stretch for this that feels good, and then bring the belly button into the spine and drive this diagonally into the ground. So that way we have a safe chest, a safe spine, and a safe core as we're stretching the hip flexor. So we're going to do that both sides. Again, you don't need to rest, you can just alternate. I'm just looking down here because I'm looking at your sheet to go through it. But we're going to do at least 30 seconds for each side. If you care about the science, you have something called a Golgi tendon organ. And what happens when you stretch is that has a stretch reflex, which disallows from the muscle lengthening too long because you don't want to get hurt. So then your Golgi tendon organ has something called autogenic inhibition, which kind of disengages and says, okay, I'm going to allow the body to stretch because it's been in this position for a long time, and I don't think it's just a jarring situation that would hurt me. You can basically totally disregard that, just some fun sciencey stuff behind why it actually takes, at least 20, probably more like 30 seconds for muscle spindles to relax because of the Golgi tendon organ. Again, doesn't matter, just saying. So here's from the side. Remember, starting hips and shoulder width apart, comfortable. We're going to take a step forward. We're going to make sure the knee is going over and in line with the second and third toes, okay? These toes behind us are also going to be pointed at 12 o'clock in front of us. And then, like I said, you can take a little bit of a step forward if you need to lunge further in to feel that stretch in the back hip flexor. And then you're going to raise this arm up while maintaining a neutral spine. So your head and shoulders and hips are all aligned, stacked, and then you can lunge into this keeping a straight and neutral spine. Fantastic. And yes, this is slower because I'm doing more demonstration, so it'll be faster during the workout. Foam roller, your adductor. Your adductor is the muscle on your inner quad here, okay? So we're going to roll this. It's going to be very similar to the TFL in terms of tempo and in terms of slow pace. So we're going to go nice and slow on this for 30 seconds. We're just going to roll our way. And like I said, similar to the TFL, as soon as you feel something, you say, ooh, that's tender. Okay, good. Found a spot. Now just rest there. Breathe out. And just kind of nestle into that spot that feels like there's a little bit of pain there. Again, not too much pain, right? You don't want it to really hurt and the muscle to recontract. You just want to feel it and go on it gently and nicely. If it's too much pain, stop, put less pressure, and then restart. Okay? We don't want to be in extreme pain here. Rolling out can hurt, but we don't want to be in extreme pain because that means we're doing a little too much too quickly. So again, let me give you another angle, maybe this way. So you're straight on one leg. This leg comes out at 90 degrees, or can be about 45, 90, whatever's comfortable, whatever feels comfortable for you. Then you're going to place the foam roller underneath, roll until you really feel something. Find it. Ooh, right there for me. Now I'm just going to relax onto it, okay? Just tiny, tiny movements on the places that you can really feel it. All right. Last warm-up is going to be the standing adductor stretch. So this is going to be same as a lot of movements where our toes are going to be facing forwards. We're not going to be at hip to shoulder width, as you can see, but our toes are still going to be facing 12 o'clock in front of us. We're then going to find probably about double shoulder width apart, whatever is comfortable though. And then you're going to lean to one side Keeping the legs straight, you're gonna feel a little stretch in the adductor and the groin area there. Make sure that your feet, your toes, are in a similar line, or possibly the leg that is bent is just slightly forward, but try to keep them in line. Definitely don't have this leg behind you, okay? So again, 12 o'clock, make sure your ankles aren't like this, make sure your knees are out. Your knees are trying to point over your toes, right? So your knees are out. Knee stays out. Of course, when you lengthen, this is straight. Back up, and then lengthen here. Keeping this straight, keeping this knee out, trying to be over those second and third toes. Okay? You're gonna do that 2 times, each leg, 20 seconds. So you're gonna hold it here, and you're gonna focus on kind of hinging at the hips, right? And really feeling that stretch in the inner quad and the adductor area. I'm gonna restart the video, go on to the next section of the workout.